Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jack's Math Notebook. This is our 12th video in a series of videos on how to find the solution to a system of two equations. And this is our second video related to word problems. Let's take a look at Preston, for example. Preston is very meticulous in how he puts his money in banks. He's very organized, and in fact, he has several piggy banks. And in his brown piggy bank, we're going to read what he has in there for this particular word problem. And so again, Preston has several piggy banks in his bedroom. In his brown piggy bank, he only has 24 coins consisting of dimes and nickels worth $1.60. And the question is, how many of each coin does he have? Well, let's take a look at it this way. He has 24 coins and he only has dimes and nickels, and those dimes and nickels are $1.60 when you total them up. And we know that a dime is worth 10 cents and a nickel is worth 5 cents. And so we can set this up as a system of two equations. We can let n equal the number of nickels and we can let d equal the number of dimes. And so now let's take a look at the total number of coins, in which we know that there are 24 coins in his brown piggy bank. And so we know that nickels plus dimes equal 24 coins. So we can write it as n plus d is equal to 24. And let's take a look at the amount of money. And so the amount of money will be 0.05 n plus 0.10 d will give us $1.60. So that's what we have here. So we have our nice system of equations. And the question is only asking, well, how many of each coin does he have? And let's write it like this. So we have n, we're going to figure out what n equals. How many nickels does he have? And we're going to also figure out d, how many dimes does he have? And so now that we have our system of two equations, we can go to work on it. But here's the deal. Decimals kind of present a problem because they get a little confusing later on when you start working out really complex problems. And so what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of the decimals and replace it with whole numbers. And how do we do that? Okay, so now we're going to get rid of the decimals, right? We're going to multiply the whole entire bottom part, okay, the bottom system of equation, or I should say the bottom equation by 100. And when we do that, we're going to distribute this 100 to the 0.05n, to the 0.10d, and even to the $1.60. And here's what happens. Magic. Okay, once we distribute that 100 across the board, we have 5n plus 10d is equal to 160, a whole lot easier to work with. And now what we're going to do is this, okay? Let us figure out, okay, so let us solve in terms of d, how many dimes we have. And if you remember right here, n plus d is equal to 24. And if we notice right here, n plus d is equal to 24, right? And what we can do, we can subtract d from both sides, and we can say that n, or the number of nickels, is equal to 24 minus d. We could have done the same thing to find out how many nickels there were by just subtracting n from both sides and saying that d is equal to 24 minus n. But let's go ahead and plug this one in right here where we have n is equal to 24 minus d, meaning that wherever we see n, we're going to replace that with 24 minus d. And we're going to do that right here. So instead of saying 5n, we're just going to say 5 times the quantity of 24 minus d plus 10d is equal to 160 to help us get the amount of dimes. And so when we do that, we're going to distribute this 5 into the parentheses because 5 times 24 is 120, and 5 times a negative d is going to give us a negative 5d, or minus 5d, plus 10d is going to equal to 160. All right. And so now in this case, so we have 120 minus 5d plus 10d, we equal 160. We're just taking it one step at a time, right? And so let us balance the equation by getting numbers on one side and variables on the other side. And we're going to do that by subtracting 120 from both sides. And when we do that, we have a negative 5d plus 10d will equal 40. And so let us combine like terms right here, again, getting variables or letters on one side and numbers on the other side. And when we do that, we'll get 5d is equal to 40. And that begs the question, what number times 5 will give me 40? And you're absolutely right. There will be 8 dimes right here. So that's right, 5 times 8 will give us 40. And that lets us know that we got 8 dimes. And now guess what we can do? We can go back and plug in 8 wherever we see a d in the easiest part of the equation. And so here's what we have right here. So we can go like this: nickels plus the number of dimes is equal to 24, right? Because we replace D with 8. And all we have to do right here is subtract 8 from both sides. And when we do that, we know that we'll have 16 nickels. All right, so n is equal to 16 because we know that 16 plus 8 will give us 24. You have received quite a bit of information, and this would be a good time to pause the video and read the question again, or replay this video as many times you need to gain a deeper understanding of the steps it takes to solve a word problem such as this. But in the meantime, please comment, share, like, and then subscribe to Jack's Math Notebook for more content. Did I say like? Did I say subscribe? Please do those things right now. Thank you and goodbye.